welcome our next discussion, the 2026 DeFi Playbook, Real Yield Stablecoin, and the new Tokenomics, featuring Mr. Arthur Chung, CEO and CIO of DeFinance Capital, joined by Mr. Sanjay Popli, co-founder and CEO of Cryptomite Group. ขอเรียนเชิญค่ะ Please welcome our guests.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. So in this session, we have Arthur with me. So maybe you can give a quick introduction of yourself, to the audience.
I'm Arthur. I'm the CEO and CIO of DeFinance Capital, a crypto investment firm that's been investing in crypto since 2023 across both liquid and venture side. We have invested in more than 100 crypto startups globally, and especially in the DeFi sector.
Yeah, so I'm Sanjay, the co-founder of Cryptomite Group, and I will be moderating the panel with Arthur today. So I think it's going to be a more fireside chat. And to get everybody knows the backdrop of why we thought of this topic, right? I would say since DeFi has been established since 2018, so it's one of those 0 to 1 innovation that people go farm, find the real yield, and we had the breakthrough up and down throughout the whole cycle of everything that happened. And we're going to be talking about the future of DeFi, where we're heading, some of the investment thesis that are happening, PerpDex, stablecoin, RWA, etc. So I think the first question to you, and what we want to discuss here and open the mic with, right? I think on the stablecoin. So we've been seeing a lot of stablecoin growth for the past 1 year, with the Genius Act coming out as well. A lot of companies are looking into stablecoin. For example, in Thailand, we're also having all these sandbox. Tether is one of the most profitable company in the crypto space, right? Then you got yield-bearing stablecoin like Ethena. Other companies are looking to do something similar as well. So I think on your perspective, right, what is the current stage of DeFi and stablecoin as a whole right now? I think we can touch on the stablecoin space first. And where you think is the opportunity there, and how would it improve in the future, I think, yeah.
So I entered the crypto space in 2018, and I think stablecoin right now, it is the biggest product market fit, biggest success story of crypto since we have tried to experiment with the technology and the use case. The only other use case that's arguably bigger is Bitcoin as a store of value, because stablecoin is a 0 to 1 innovation in the sense that it is completely different with how traditional financial system move their money around. We're moving this on a completely different platform and technology, unlike fintech, right? Because even you use all these fintech players, they still need to rely on banks to move their money on a traditional rail, while stablecoin just skip this entirely. And anyone who do international business, cross-border commerce, will see the benefit of a stablecoin transaction. I mean, even at 2025, sometime when we send money out to international clients, counterparties, we can still get our transactions stuck, for almost a week, without understanding which part of the process the money is stuck at, whether it's on the receiving end, on the sending end. And stablecoin just solve this problem entirely, and just make the entire commerce process so much more efficient. So this is obviously demonstrated by the growth, and with US legalizing this business on a national and federal level, the Treasury Secretary of US predict that the stablecoin supply is gonna grow another 10 times to almost 3 trillion by end of the decade. So this is the biggest opportunity in crypto right now, comparable to Bitcoin as a store of value. And I think that all the other regional government, all the other governments also realize the importance right now. So they are all coming out with their own framework to regulate it. So I think actually it's interesting, of all these regulation the government focus on, stablecoin is actually sometimes even more than the crypto, right? Let's say in the US, they actually passed the Genius Act, which is the stablecoin legislation, before the Clarity Act, which is the market structure bill. They will kind of regulate what token is security, what is not security. So actually, most of the government, they actually care more about stablecoin than tokens or cryptos. So given the national level of importance, this is definitely going to grow a lot bigger. And I think the growth of stablecoin is also going to power the growth of DeFi, because the biggest difference is stablecoin, you can hold it in any wallet. You can hold it in a centralized exchange. You can just hold it in like your own Web3 wallet like MetaMask or Phantom, anywhere. And once you hold it in your own wallet, you want to generate some yield with it, right? You want to do some savings, you want to do some investments, borrowing and lending, then you will naturally use DeFi. So as long as the supply of stablecoin continue to increase, it will continue to power the growth of DeFi as well. Because this is like the system, DeFi is a system that supports the growth of stablecoins.
Yeah, so I think like just to cross-check with the audience a bit, right? So I think like you said, right, like movement of stablecoin is one of the biggest use cases of crypto. So I mean, can I see a hand like who has used stablecoin to transfer money before? That's actually smaller than we expected. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I certainly use that quite a lot. And then like to find yield as well, right? So I think for me, right, like we look at from the past, right? So we had like when stablecoin was actually created, it was used for movement. Then DeFi started happening, I would say 2018. At that time, Aave was called ETHLend, right? And then like it changed to Aave. And then we had on the 2020 run, we had Uniswap coming out, all these protocols coming out as well in different chain. And fast forward, we have also some experiment that failed considerably, right? Like what happened to Terra Luna, for example. And right now, also, there's still a lot of hack in the DeFi space, right? So on your end, right, what is your biggest innovation you've seen, I would say, from last cycle to this cycle on the stablecoin or DeFi space? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest innovation is there is much more battle tested and low risk yield in the market right now at a very big and very big size format. Because last time, you know, most DeFi protocol are only 2 to 3 years old, you know, less battle tested, and also they're mostly not that big. But I think right now, you know, Aave at the peak have 60 billion total deposits. This is, if you compare it to the banks globally, they are like the top 30 largest bank globally already. So this size and given how long Aave have existed, means that a lot more platform could have integrated them and offer this yield. And obviously, like you mentioned just now, we have Ethena, which offer between like 5 to 15% yield, depending on market condition. And obviously, it's still a bit relatively new compared to Aave, but it has also been proven throughout in different scenarios that they have done a good job in risk management, are able to offer a superior yield compared to many other alternatives, yet able to manage the risk. So I think that as more and more time goes on, a lot of these low, relatively safe yield are one of the biggest change that we have seen currently. And also, I think that the use cases, like I think PubDex, okay, the fact is we all know that people like to trade in crypto, right?
And we all like to be leveraged trader now as well in the space.
So, most people, when they first thought of buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, or crypto, they want to make money, right? So, and most of them, you trade on exchange, central exchange, like, and if you want more leverage, you usually move your money out to Binance, OKX, Bybit, all these so-called offshore exchanges. But actually, you're not getting paid by doing so. The past 2 years, the success of Hyperliquid and all this kind of decentralized exchange shows that you can actually be rewarded and get paid by using this exchange as the first group of users. I think actually you can trade without leverage, right? Because actually I do not use any leverage. I always trade less than 1x leverage.
So your leverage usage is mainly for hedging.
No, I trade perps for the liquidity, but I do not use leverage.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but so actually, and you will still get rewarded by using these platforms. And so, if you want leverage, if you want to use a good product and getting rewarded for it, DeFi offer that. Actually, in my social circle, I know many young people, like below 30 years old, they basically kind of retire from Hyperliquid airdrops. Yeah, like at least I would say a dozen of them like make a decent enough money to just not need to work for next few years. So actually, it's very hard to hire young people because so many of them make money from Hyperliquid and they don't want to work.
So that's a talent problem and a reward problem as well, right? Yeah. So I think like on what you touch on, so we have like PerpDex coming out this year, and then you touch on Ethena, like one of the yield-bearing stable coin as well, right? And that's probably one of the new innovation we have in the space, right? In a different format. Like yield stable coin, basically, before we were just parking our stable coin somewhere to get the yield, the T-bill yield, but now it's just holding that stable coin and generating automatically, getting the yield for us. And the other side is like, before people used to trade on all these SECs, like centralized exchange with leverage, but without being rewarded, like in a way, right? Now they're being rewarded for getting the point, farming the point, or actually trading if you are like a trader. And I think also on the next phase, right? If you're talking about the next like innovation in DeFi, let's say 2016, I'm hearing a lot of talk about neobank. So we have like the payment card where you can find yield with the card as well. Like maybe you can explain it to a bit about it to the audience and us as well, right? Like, what do you think of the whole sector of the neobank and this current arena, like current format? Yeah.
So I think going forward, I think most of the successful neobank, they will be a hybrid of fintech and DeFi, because the fact is a lot of the exciting products are actually being built in DeFi right now. When you look at fintech, because due to regulation and various inherent restrictions, they cannot innovate too much on the product side. So the one that can offer the best product are usually in the DeFi space. So the neobank that is most successful, they will be able to offer the user safety by being the platform that filter out all the high risk products, but found an interesting one and can integrate into one single platform and offer it to their users. So in fact, actually, not just like all the new startup, right? Robinhood is trying to become a neobank. And Robinhood have integrated many, obviously have offered crypto tradings. I'm not sure whether it's available in Thailand. In the US, Robinhood is like the top brokerage for the young people to trade stocks. But you can also have a Robinhood card. You can spend your money directly there. They also integrated prediction market, so you can trade prediction market on Robinhood. So I think the future of neobank is you can do all your products in one platform, but also including the DeFi product, but probably under their own platform to filter out. So you do not need to use your own decentralized wallet. It's one single account, unified experience.
So I think it's more about the overall user experience and the benefit we get from it, right? So right now, instead of spending the debit amount in my bank card, I just use the neobank card, and then I get the yield on a yearly basis, get the cash back, and also can do the payment anywhere as well. Because like right now, I think you get like on USDT around 4%, and all these neobank card as well. So instead of just leaving my money idly, right, I now can earn yield and even do borrowing as well, right? So I think that's a very interesting feature that I see as well. So I think EtherFi is probably one of the first in the space, right? So I think we're going to see a lot more coming out. I think there's a couple of projects that have been looking into, but not too deeply yet. And on the other side of things we have right now is the prediction market, right? That has been talking about. So for example, Polymarket has been invested by ICE, partner with Google recently. They're doing a lot of predictive trend, right? Not only in the sporting world, but in the more global economic world as well. So how do you see on the prediction market, how would DeFi be related to that in any way, if any, right? Like, I mean, can we be like part of the bookmaker there, market maker there, or how would, as a DeFi, can we get any yield from that sort of angle? Or how would you see like the prediction market will be a game changer? Would it be similar to the PerpDex narrative we are trading, or it's going to be a bit different on your end?
Yeah, I think prediction market is at the age of DeFi. I don't consider it as a core DeFi use case. I think it deserves a category on its own, because for many years, economists have always been fascinated by prediction market, because it is a very good way to validate the theory of like, can you put a price on an information, on any information, and are you able to derive a better result from decision making, policy making, just by being allow people to bet on what they believe in and what they know. It's like also like a little bit of a wisdom of the crowd kind of situation as well. But obviously, I think a lot of this time, the crowd doesn't refer to any normal people. It refers to industry people that might have some knowledge. And this is actually a way for them to either make money on some of the information and understanding they have, and also like to just make the result much more predictable. I think at the current rate, it will be more closer to sports betting kind of activity. I don't think you can offer like a safe view of trading on prediction market, but I do know there are certain people who like to bet on this kind of low risk outcome, which means that it's already trading at 97%, 98%. You are buying that because you know that, like probably they are less than 2 weeks until the expiry. You know that and unlikely to get the 2-3% outcome, and you just spread your bet across all of these.
Or if you're a degen, you can go the opposite way as well.
Yeah, but those are just pure trading, right? Yeah, pure betting.
Speculating, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't think it can be something that very average people to make a safe view. But it's more like a good way for you to participate in the political economy, and you want to think, whether Trump will say this word in the next meeting, who will be the next prime minister or president of X country. I think it's just a very interesting way for people to. It's also kind of a new form of entertainment, because I think that in the future, a lot of people want to put money where their mouth is. It's just that right now, sports as an entertainment is also very interlinked with people want to express their view by money. So it's very combined right now. So that's why I say it's on the age of DeFi.
So you kind of have skin in the game on what you're saying as well to put the outcome there, right? Yes. So I think it's still very early stage, right, on the prediction market side. I think on the other end, right, you were mentioning about Robinhood just now, right? So I don't think we can use Robinhood here, but I think they've been trying to build their own chain, trying to integrate some equity stock there as well, right? So in the moving forward in the space, there has been a lot of talk about RWA, right? A lot of exchanges start offering US stock to be able to trade. And now we have like even OpenAI, right? On some I think PerpDex or somewhere, they've been offering like pre-market IPO price already, right? Yep. So RWA, and then we talk about gold as well, then maybe real estate here and there. For your end, right? And then there's all these US Treasury T-bill that you can park with your stablecoin. What do you think on the best use case of RWA would be? Would it be on the equity coming to the stock market, like how we had the initial phase of DeFi where you can put let's say LP in, right? Let's say I want people to trade Apple stock and USD and then LP it in, or would it be some other use case that we haven't thought about?
So I think it's twofold. One is you are able to bring much more quality asset on chain, because we talk about stablecoin, right? Because actually stablecoin is the biggest RWA, because it is a dollar.
Yeah, exactly.
But once you have the dollar on chain, beside transacting, transferring, and payment, you also want to be able to do something with it, right? So by bringing all this RWA on chain, you're also able to just build the entire financial system on chain as well. So this is like a natural demand that will just grow as long as the stablecoin continue to grow, because you're not just going to want to hold stablecoin, you want to do other things with it. But then there's another innovation, which is tokenization as a technology to make issuing asset much more efficient. But obviously this one, it will cross into a little bit of, should you regulate it like a traditional asset? Because traditional asset, to issue an asset, you need to go through a lot more process. If it's securities, you need to file a prospectus and get approval. And right now, you look at it, people issuing meme coin, you can click a button, boom, you issue a meme coin, right? So I think that there's a pros and cons. I think it also depends on asset class in terms of difficulty and how easy should you allow the issuance. But I think there has been more and more trend toward, it's on a more consent and disclosure basis of investor protection. So if you subscribe to the more philosophy that investors should be allowed to do what they want as long as there are proper disclosure, this tokenization trends means that a lot of people are able to issue asset a lot more easily, and actually this can speed up a lot of the capital formation. Let's say startups, it makes sense for them to just issue a debt on chain probably not that, or equity on chain, or some sort of some sort of equity, even when they're not ready to go IPO yet. And actually, this has been one of the biggest demand right now. A lot of these AI stocks right now, they are trading at a crazy fees on the secondary market. Let's say you want to invest in OpenAI or Anthropic on the secondary market, their shares, on the SPV level, some of these brokers, they are charging you 10% fee to invest into these shares of hot AI companies. And I think tokenization can actually rapidly reduce this cost if a lot of the startups are able to just allow investors to own their shares on a much more convenient basis on-chain.
Yeah, I think on the technology itself, I don't think there's a problem in that, right? But I think the problem is more on the audit, right? Like, let's say I want to issue some equity on chain. Do I actually have that equity to issue it? And how would the regulator or audit people audit it? I think it's similar to what happened in stablecoin in the early day, right? I mean, you've seen a lot of talk about USDT in the early day. Do they have real backing or not? Do they have actually USD behind them? And DPEG always happen here and there, and people get panicked out. In the equity market as well, on-chain, when they bring it on-chain, I think that is what needs to be proven as well, right? And then we're going to be having a lot of experiment. So I think that's probably one of the interesting use cases that we'll see. And moving forward, right, what do you see will happen in 2026 or the opportunity in the DeFi space for the future on your perspective? Yeah.
So I think there's two sides. One is on a very institutional side. I think stablecoin is going to grow, so they're going to find a way to integrate a lot of these DeFi product into their platform. And also a lot of these traditional financial institutions, they want to get more liquidity for their assets as well. So they'll try to tokenize their asset into RWA and then try to find some way that you can borrow against it. You can have a liquidity pool around it. You might have some user all around the world that want to access it. So, for example, Aave, the largest DeFi protocol, have launched an RWA market called Horizon. You just go to the website, you can see the Horizon instance. In less than a month, less than 2 months, it have grown to 500 million in TVLs. So, people have been putting their RWA in the asset to borrow against it. On the other hand, you also have the PubDex. I think that all the decentralized exchange will continue to be a very big trend, because the fact is, Binance, they have 200 million of users. This is probably the exchange that have the largest number of users globally. People go there to do what? To trade, trade pearls, buy spot, do some transfer. And I think that the PubDex and all the decentralized exchange will continue to take some market share from them, because ultimately, as long as you are able to get through the whole wallet usage, which has gotten better at time, because right now, actually, most of the wallet, you don't need to remember the private key. You can integrate with your Gmail, the social logins, so that you actually has become a lot more user-friendly, and you can be rewarded for using the products. So this trend will continue to drive DeFi forward, because everyone want to get rewarded for using it, and you can become one of the partial owners of all these platforms as well.
Yeah, I think I can vouch for that as well, because being an early DeFi user, I think from Curve till right now, right? And before we were using a lot of all these weird wallet, try to connect from the day of my Ether wallet day till right now, the experience has been much, much better compared to before. I think we have 2 minutes left, so maybe let's summarize a bit, right? What do you think need to happen for the industry as an overall to grow, and what's your idea of in the future, what we'd like to see as a whole? So we had what happened at 1010, a lot of liquidation cascade happened here and there, and people are still degening, going max long, max short, everything, right? So what do you like to see in the industry overall?
Yeah, I think this is the most challenging part, because crypto, we are in the values of this is freedom, technology, permissionless, decentralizations. But I think that people also recognize that there are a lot of bad people that take advantage of this. So I think we should continue to build better products. And I think that a lot of the regulators also need to craft sensible regulation that people can follow. but also not to allow the bad actors to take advantage of it. Yeah, so I think it's just really the community just need to, in a way, self-regulate in a way, so that we do not cause such a big trouble like last time, and then then we get a very bad reaction from globally. But I don't think this is an easy problem to solve. But I think that also that we should continue to elevate good builders in the space. Obviously, like CryptoMine has been doing a lot of the real groundwork community building in Thailand for a long times, and these are the people that we would like to support. Yeah.
So I think like any last word? Like we have like 15 seconds left. Yeah.
So I think, I think DeFi will continue to grow. And I think most users, if you're being careful, do not do the crazy stuff. Most users I know that have been using DeFi, they are generally rewarded by, in some sense, over the years. So yeah, just keep an open mind, but don't take too much risk. And then I think that you will feel excited by and rewarded by participating in this financial revolution.
And also, I think I'd like to add, revoke all your contract, whatever they use, in case anything goes wrong, and always use a hardware wallet in a way. Yeah. So I think like that's pretty much it from us. Like thanks Arthur as well for being here and coming to Bangkok, and thanks all the audience as well. So thank you for today. Yeah.